Hey, this is Brent. Just wanted to make a video, try to keep it short, on cutting braided line with scissors. Now, there's a lot of different videos out there. I'm just gonna run the gamut of things that, as a pretty avid angler, that I use, and in the end, it's gonna be what's up to you. But we're gonna cut right down to it. So I'm gonna just gonna run the gamut and just do a kind of a limp line test and cutting, and just to see what we got, talk about some pricing. And in the end, it'll be up to you. So I got some, I think it's probably 15-pound yellow Power Pro. Keep that against the thing there. First up in the lineup is going to be the Cuda. Snip, snip. I mean, just all you want. I mean, that one didn't do, but I think that was my fault. So these Cudas, like $6 on Amazon at your local tackle shop. They may run a few dollars more, but support your local shops when you can, absolutely. And now these are a little smaller, a little harder to, to kind of keep. They're easy to keep in a pouch, but they're also kind of hard to get to when you really need them. But with that little serrated edge right there, they blow on through it pretty easy. So really nice. Those are both Cudas, and those are a few dollars less. So they'll do you a good job. These I just got these. These are all cut. They're from HPA. These are actually a ceramic bladed scissor. They're really neat. I decided I want to try them. They do have them on Amazon, but they're a little pricey at $28. I got this couple pairs through Chicago Knife Works. They're down from 25 down to almost 16, and that tells me that they're probably phasing them out. But they're really cool. They're really lightweight. They really fit into my pouch, really nice, really compact. So I'm kind of liking them. And they cut, missed one there. But again, I need to just go slow, because they're doing the job pretty doggone well. So HPA, all cut. You'll see that's what the package looks like right there. So ceramic, so they shouldn't rust. They do a pretty good job. This is just a pair of Cast Kings. I got any of these scissors designed to cut braid. Kind of what I've found. Have a little bit of serration to them and do a pretty good job. Yeah, they just have some serration right there. These actually, they cuts through it pretty good. I want to make sure I don't take off a chunk of my thumb while I'm showing you how well they cut. These come with a little sheath, and actually just doing a quick little search on Amazon, it looks like for like $13, you get one with that sheath and with a little retracting doodad. The old standby, the old Rapala, available pretty much everywhere. They do a good job as well, and they're not doing a good job right now. They just had 4 misses, and I wasn't trying to do it fast. So, for $8, hey, take your pick. They will do it. They will do it, but they're not certainly not top of my list. I'm moving on. This is definitely an honorable mention. These are just a little pair of Fiskars, blunt-ended kids. I do keep these in a lot of tackle boxes, and they're not serrated, so they would be easy to sharpen, but they cut it pretty well. Now, I wouldn't go with just a little cheap pair of kid scissors, but these Fiskars, for $6, and if beginning of school year, I mean, you can probably get a 10-pack of them. Keep one in every tackle box you own. Pretty cool little deal. Of course, the folks that made these little boomerangs right now, I'm pretty sure they're on a beach somewhere drinking an umbrella drink, because they have sold a ton of these, and they're nice and compact. Whether I've got a bigger pair, not that they do any better than these. These are like a long nose. I have found that these do a pretty good job. Over time, they will. I've had some that I've used in salt water that have gotten a little boogered up. I actually do replace the little screws with brass screws on the back, and keep them a little longer. But it's nice to keep on outside of a tackle bag, you know, just kind of quick use. These are probably, I'm sorry, Dr. Slick, one of my biggest disappointments right here. I love the scissors, love the feel of them. It's really a quality pair of scissors, but I think they're more designed for the fly anglers. You know, cutting, you know, whatever they cut. I'm not a fly fisherman. I've tied some bucktails and that sort of thing, but you can see that just chews it. And you can eventually, if you keep chewing on it, you'll eventually get through it. And I like these because they fit in my pouch really nice. They kind of kept everything, but if you don't work, you don't work. So there you go. We can also talk about any of the, you can get any number of these pliers that have the cutting edge on them that are, you know, they're a multi-purpose kind of tool. But the thing with any multi-purpose tool, in my opinion, it doesn't do any one thing really, really good. Now these, I've had these for years, bought them at Cabela's up in Hamburg, Pennsylvania years ago. And I told the guy, if I can take my 2 fingers and cut that braided line, I'll buy them. Now back then, I did that and just cut right through them. Now I need both hands and it's got to kind of crunch through it. So if space is at a premium and you just want one tool, now these do have the removable, you know, the removable blade, as most of these type of pliers do. But how long are they going to keep those parts available? You got a Browning pair here. I don't even think these are available anymore, but a little bit bigger for saltwater use. You got to dig down a bluefish or a flounder's mouth, and these are, I haven't cut too many pieces of braid with these, so these might do okay. If I can get the line in there. Yeah, it'll crunch through it, but they don't really cut it close. You know, that's why I like the scissors, because especially if I'm like tying a uni to uni, I really want to get as much of that, especially on the mono end. I want to get that tag as close as I can. So the Rapalas, you know, for $8, I think they're better mouse traps out there. The Fiskars, you know, if you need, like I said, if you need a bunch of them, you can probably get a package that'll have a bunch in it for not much. I mean, they're like $6. Boomerangs, they run from, you know, $12 to $20, just depending on where you find them and, you know, how eager you are. I've actually taken one of those apart one time. It took me a while to get it back together, but it did finally go. So I think the best, you know, the best for me, I really like these. Now, if you have big fingers, the HPO, the all cuts, it might not be for you, because I mean, I've got pretty normal size hands, I think. And you know, if it's wintertime fishing, I may need to actually go with the Cudas if I've got gloves on. Typically, I like to have my fingertips exposed anyway, but I really do like these just because of the way they fit. They're not the cheapest, but I have several different pouches just like this, you know, with the needle nose in there. So I really like that. You can't go wrong, I think, with a Cast King, or probably you have a lot of similar ones to it. The Cudas are really good, really reasonably priced, really sturdy. I've had several pairs that I've used. I've had a pair of these. These were actually the ones I had clipped on a tackle bag. You can even see the little wear thing right there where they've actually been kind of lanyarded to my tackle box for a number of years. But just go fishing. You can use a knife if you have to. It just doesn't get things as close. But, you know, I probably have 8 or 10 tackle boxes. I just have, you know, if I'm going smallmouth fishing, I grab this one. Saltwater speckled trout, I grab this one. And I try not to have, you know, but so many things to keep in my box, to keep straight. But pliers are one thing I really don't try to have one in every box if I can, just because I don't want to leave home without it. Anyway, it's been long enough. I hope you got a little something out of it. And good fishing to you.